My name is James Sutton. I run the data platform team here at EasyPost. Really talking to you today about solutions we've been building with AI on top of our data. And the title is kind of hits to home. There's a lot of companies that say they do things with AI, and then you dig in and you kind of feel like, what are you solving for? And so we feel like we found some really practical use cases of leveraging our data and building AI models, and are trying to help shippers get there. Cool. So just a brief introduction of EasyPost. We were founded in 2012 as the first RESTful API for shipping. Over that time period, we have really built out this whole ecosystem where we integrate with hundreds of carriers and our platform and for anywhere from SMBs all the way to platform software ecosystems to manage multi-carrier shipping. We have really big customers on our platform, and we process billions of shipments. We have a full API suite that crosses all global carriers across USPS, UPS, DPD. Ooh. Oh, maybe I'll try to fix the mic. And so how do you transform into an AI-based company from an infrastructure company? And that's really where I've been stumping in and bringing a different data perspective to our organization. And so we sit on one of the biggest data sets in the industry because of we sit as infrastructure for all these parcel shippers. So we have a ton of shipments across all different carriers, and we have time and transit events across every single one of those shipments. So what does that mean? That means that we are in a unique position to build models and train those models to be really accurate to determine how if you ship a shipment on a particular day, when will that deliver? And where does that fit within kind of the shipping landscape? So we have APIs, and we're a really API first company. And so what we've first launched this as we're just going to sell you the data. So 2 years ago we launched Smart Rate, and we really started to just sell the time and transit predictions. But where our next evolution is really to interject ourselves within the API ecosystem. So with Luma Select, we are now doing rate shopping at the point of label buy through the API. So instead of you having to get the data back to determine how you want to use it and then buy a label, through one seamless API call, you tell us what the business requirements are of that particular shipment, like a carrier service level, or just a service level like free shipping or 2 days, or give us a required delivery date, and then we're going to pick the best label based off of all of our time and transit predictions and all the carriers you have enabled within your EasyPost account. And so what's the problem? So since we launched this about a month ago, we've talked to a lot of DTC brands that do various different things. But what we've really found is that communicating an accurate estimated delivery date when a shipper's on your platform and then executing against that date is actually really hard without the right tech, because that crosses a lot of different business functions and technical solutions from the front end all the way through the shipping execution. And to double down on that, carriers are not really the most accurate in their own estimates. So a lot of retailers are using zone-based time and transit tables and say hey, this is zone 4, this is going to deliver in 4 days. But zone 4 means a very different thing if you're delivering in Montana versus you're delivering in a more concentrated part of California. And so there's really a need to have more accurate zip 5 level time and transit predictions from origin to destination. And then customers expect better time and transit date predictions. We still see a lot of retailers do this, where they'll communicate an actual carrier service, and they'll also communicate a date range, like 5 to 10 business days or 3 to 5 business days. And the challenge is that customers don't think in business days. So I don't actually know what that means. Because I'm in shipping, I know 10 business days kind of means 2 weeks, but 10 business days to most people doesn't mean 2 weeks. They're I still expect it to arrive next week. And so if it doesn't get there next week, they're going to call you and say, what's up? Where's my package? And so business days doesn't translate to customers. And then the second problem with this is that by committing to a particular carrier service at the time of checkout, it limits your ability as a shipper to pick the best option based off of the origin destination. Like if you're saying that you're going to sell them a 2-day air package, but ground can actually get it there for $7, like why are you communicating it that? And so like when you can actually buy the $7 package and get it there in 2 days. So what we built to solve this is this Luma product. And on the right side is how the UI base looks. So essentially it starts with setting up business rules all in the EasyPost UI, where you set up your requirements, whether like this is my 2-day service, or I'm going to feed you a required delivery by date, or like a 5-day rule. It automatically will use all the carriers that are set up within. It's all built on top of back of EasyPost. So if you have 5 carriers set up, that's what we're going to rate shop against. If you have 2 carriers set up, that's what we're going to rate shop against. You set a confidence interval. This is kind of unique and or new to rate shopping and within the parcel shipping ecosystem, but because the backbone of this is all this data science model that's prediction based, the confidence interval matters because your on-time percentage matters more if you're shipping medicine that needs to be there overnight compared to if you're shipping shoes. And if it's an extra day on the shoes, it might be okay. And so we give you the ability of setting that as well. And then on the back end, it's the integration is all one API call. So you set up these business rules, and then you feed in what business rule you're going to follow every time you make an API call to us, and then we do all the rate shopping, and you leverage all of our data. And so EasyPost is really the uniquely positioned to be able to do this because of our backing of being parcel shipping and being the API for shipping. So we have way more shipment data, historical and time and transit performance than any other company in the space, that it crosses all carriers. So we know FedEx, we know UPS, we know USPS. So we have all the carriers, and so we can really do rate shopping with the best time and transit predictions on the back end. So 1, you communicate the right date on the front end, and then 2, you do your rate shopping on the back end to pick the best label and deliver it on time. And so, yeah, I think in general, AI is only as good as the data is trained on. So that is like why EasyPost as a company can launch a product like this, is because of the data ecosystem that we have in order to build a very accurate prediction model and then interject it into different shipping products and shipping life cycles for shippers. Really short pitch, but yeah, good talk. Any questions? Yeah. So weights and dimensions are a requirement every time you make a shipment within the platform. So the first step is literally origin, destination, and parcel details. And that parcel details is essentially like that. You need package dimensions and the weight because that also determines rating. So every time you buy a label or create a shipment with EasyPost, we get that information. Yeah. Yeah, so in order to get time and transit predictions, that's not required. In order to do the rate shopping, it is required. So I would actually prefer not to get it if you're just looking for time and transit predictions for like cart checkout. Like you don't need to feed that, or you can feed in dummy values. As far as like estimating goes, like we don't currently do that today because it like has a direct impact on like the cost of the package, and so. Yeah, you got to be accurate. We do have separate offerings like what we call Magic Logic that actually sits within the integrates with WMS and does cartonization. So like I've got 3 items. Here's the item dimensions. Here's my 10 different box sizes. Like which box do I put those 3 items in, or do I put it in 2 boxes? So like we do help with that a little bit in the 4 walls of a DC. But as far as when you buy labels with us, we're downstream from that decision. What do you mean? Like exception packages, like ones that like fit? Yeah. 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 So we have looked at different shipment options or shipment characteristics to see how it impacts time in transit. And there is like a non-unique package like kind of dimension that we've looked at, but we haven't actually seen carrier performance decrease. They just charge you more money for it. So like they'll charge you an extra $13 because it's over 26 inches or whatever on one side, and then they have to do manual processes within their fulfillment centers to still get it there in 4 days, 3 days, whatever. And then they'll do those manual processes, and then they'll charge you more on the back end. We also, within our rating engine, we do live rating. So if you're feeding in package dimensions, we'll give you the rate that includes extra $13 surcharge. But the time in transit actually isn't impacted from what we've seen in historical data. Yeah. Yeah. They're actually getting more into like parcel shipping, and so they're a carrier for us in essence. But they also ship like buy parcel from us as well. We are only doing parcel shipping for our time. Yeah, only parcel, and our initial focus was on the U.S. market. So we're still expanding international, but right now we're highly focused on parcel shipping and not. There is a lot. It's really interesting on like international and like containers coming inbound, but our bread and butter is really like because of our backing of being the infrastructure for companies to buy parcel labels. That's why we're like a unique like niche to do it for parcel shipping. I mean, in general, even like maintaining, 1 to 10 carrier integrations is like really tough. And onboarding new carriers when things change, like UPS stopped delivering to PO boxes, is really difficult without platforms like ours, where you can just like add on a new carrier really easily without building a whole new integration. Yeah. We have data around international and hazmat compliance. Yeah. Mm. Yep. So we have within the Luma offering, we have an analytics component where we're exposing all the data back into to anyone who ships with us. And one of the things about that is carrier on-time performance. So we're exposing carrier on-time performance, which varies. I think I don't know. I had some data on here actually. Yeah, this slide. Carriers are 77 to 93% on time, and that varies depending on like the region of the country. Some carriers are better in some areas than others. So, yeah, yeah. Good to see you. Cool. Thank you.